Hello, my name is Lilybeth Cortez.
And I'm Maria Vasquez, and the title for our project is called The Real Doroteo Arango. Our main focus is talking about Francisco Villa, taking a stand by him changing his life, him getting us out of the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz, and finally, being the Latin American Robin Hood for the people.
José Doroteo Arango Arambula, also known as Francisco Villa Pancho Villa, was born on June 5, 1878 at Durango and died on July 20, 1923 in Chihuahua, Mexico. He had 3 siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. At age of 16, he killed for the first time a man who raped his sister. From this time and on, he named himself Pancho Villa to evade any arrest. He would work as a laborer, and when the years passed, he got bored of working that way, so he became a rebel. In fact, more men started hearing about him and started joining his group of banditos. Him and his group would steal many stuff, even from the wealthy, and giving them to the poor, living a Robin Hood life. During this time, it was time of modernization, in which the goal of Mexico was to become a more new, peaceful, and material progress era. Later in life, Pancho Villa became a revolutionist, meaning he was overthrowing the government so people can have peace with the help of others.
As we mentioned earlier, Pancho Villa was being helped by others. One of the people that helped him was Emiliano Zapata. In 1910, he was living as a fugitive, trying to escape from every problem he got into. He later joined Francisco I. Madero, who was also a revolutionary leader, to fight against Porfirio Diaz, who was a dictator during that time. Of course, from all of Villa's hard work, he had very good knowledge because he knew how to read, write, fight, but what he had good knowledge of was the different lands due to the fact that he was a very moving person. For both Madero and Villa's knowledge, they both accomplished what they have wanted, which was to drive Diaz out of power. But Francisco I. Madero was the one that got the new title as President of Mexico. Villa didn't have a problem of having Madero as president because he knew he would be a good president. For the great accomplishment of taking Mexico's dictator away, Madero named Villa officer of the army. Unfortunately, as time passed, Madero, who was the 33rd president from that time, was in risk. But luckily, General Victoriano Huerta and Villa had his back and wished to protect President Madero. Many wanted the position as president, including people who actually wanted Madero's protection. One of them was, of course, General Victoriano Huerta. Victoriano accomplished his dream by killing President Madero and titling himself as the new president of Mexico. But during that time, rumors appeared on the offense of Villa, so he had to be executed and sent to jail on June 1912. Since we all know Villa's role of playing, he coincidentally found a way to escape that same year. But this time, he fled to the US. Since Villa found out of Madero's death, he made a troop of soldiers and was part of a rebellion of Huerta. Venustiano Carranza also came in the way, and this time, with the help of the US President, Woodrow Wilson was on Carranza's side, and both wanted to take control. So once again, a battle begins with the order of President Wilson. Since all of this happened, at the end, Carranza died at a revolt, and Adolfo de la Huerta later became president. In 1920, Villa was granted a pardon, but 3 years after his retirement, Villa was assassinated.
After Pancho Villa's death, Mexico remained strained and very uneasy. Pancho Villa was dedicated to land reform. He created the Bank of Chihuahua that financed agrarian reform and urban cooperatives. He also authorized the recreation of ejidos community landholdings. There have been at least 25 movies made based on Pancho Villa's life. Pancho Villa remains a controversial figure in the United States. Francisco Villa lived in the time that the revolution was beginning, so obviously there was going to be a lot of poverty, and to those that were poor, it was very hard on them. Pancho Villa helped the people in need to survive. He helped them to live another day. He loved helping those who were in need. He was removed from the political spotlight, but Mexico was still not on a positive note, even after his death. When this occurred, some people were afraid of what was coming next. People just had faith. Back in the time, people were very religious. They believed God can do so many things. Now people really don't care about Pancho Villa. Yes, some Mexicans are thankful, but others think he did bad being a rebel.
In conclusion, Francisco Villa really did make an impact. He also proved to us that even if you start off on a rough path, you can always get to the success you have been wanting. Like for example, his being the tough childhood he grew up with, and at the end, becoming a hero. Pancho Villa led the Mexican Revolution to get us all out of the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz. During the time he was leading the Mexican Revolution, Pancho Villa would manage to help his people, which were basically those in deep poverty. He loved helping the poor, and that is what makes us think what a great person he was. Even though Mexico still remained at ease and not on a positive note, he managed to do what he could to free the people. And that made a huge impact on a lot of us. He didn't want to die knowing things wouldn't be the way he planned. Even though he got murdered by the 3 men he thought he could trust. Trust the people from Mexico. The people from Mexico were grateful for him, and to them, he was the Latin American Robin Hood hero.
We would like to take a moment and thank our family members who helped us during this time, who have had sources in the past. Thanks to our sources online for guiding us. Thank you for watching.